The program is Dreamwalk. It is I Mischief. This is KVMR FM, Nevada City, KCPC, Camino, Placerville. We got quite a program for you today, so stay tuned, because it is on. For the 10 o'clock hour, we would like to thank the second time around a Native American-owned store buying and selling quality used furniture, household accessories, fine art, jewelry, and collectibles at 112 Argyle Way, Nevada City, open 10 to 5 Monday through Saturday, 530-265-8844.
We'd also like to thank Automotive City, serving Nevada County since 1997. Automotive City is fully equipped automotive service and repair facility and is a smog test and repair facility, servicing most makes and models. Open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5:30. Saturday by appointment. You can call them at 530-273-3195. We'd also like to thank South Yuba Club, offering over 80 group exercise classes weekly and personal training at 2 locations, in Nevada City at Searles Avenue and in Grass Valley on Freeman Lane in the Raley's Center. Details at southyubaclub.com or 470-9100.
We'd also like to thank you, Skip.
What? Hey.
So how you doing today?
My life is still simply wonderful.
Excellent.
Can't make up anything bad. It's still absolutely delightful.
It is fantastical.
And I like the rain, too, because I say it 1,000 times. You don't have to shovel it.
This winter, quote unquote, is fantastical.
Yeah, you know how you put up your fingers? That works really well in radio. We put up our fingers to make the quote. Yeah, that makes so much for winter. I'm hoping for the March Miracle. There's still time. And I'm also hoping for, and I have photographic records of 3 feet of snow in my yard in April. So I'm looking for that. I want it. I need to get on my tractor and push it around.
You said March Miracle. I thought you were talking about me.
Oh, well.
Because my birthday's in March.
Oh, well.
You're so
we'll
sweet.
Talk to Daddy. We'll talk to Daddy about whether you were a miracle or not. Probably has input.
We got Nakai.
Yeah.
Okay. So I got 2 hours of nothing but Nakai.
He's the man.
So starting at 1987, because all this stuff, the music, the archives that you've bestowed upon me. So I went way back.
Way back.
Way back in the day, 1987, kicking an old school Nakai, and we're just going to see where it goes. Like, we got, I think, 30 years of...
At least.
Nakai. up in this.
And he's coming here, locally.
When?
Soon. No, I have no idea. I just made that up.
No, you can harass him.
I just made it up.
I just got so excited. I was like, oh, no, we have to put our matching socks and stuff.
I have matching socks.
Not today.
Not today. Okay.
Not today. Well, let's get to it. Let's get to some Nakai. And we're just going to let it ride. And I think Michael Ben said something about 11-ish.
Yeah.
So in Indian time, in Dreamwalk time, it'll probably be 11:42.
Yeah, okay.
All right. So I want to thank you all for listening. And
let's play.
We'll be back.
Come help KVMR take a step into the future by celebrating the radio of the past. Monday, March 16th at 7 p.m., the Nevada Theater will come alive with the return of live old-time radio as Joe McHugh and KVMR present Zephyr of the Old West, a made-for-radio play with live sound effects and a bevy of local performers celebrating the grand tradition of 20th century radio drama. Admission is free. There's an early start time of 7 o'clock to accommodate younger and older audience members, and you'll be part of the audience celebrating this return to yesteryear, while KVMR and the Nevada Theater celebrate our new facilities. That's Zephyr of the Old West, a Raven Radio Theater production. Live at the Nevada Theater, 7 p.m., Monday, March 16th. Free admission, and also broadcast live as it happens. Where else but on KVMR?
Look at you with all those switches. Switches.
Isn't this fun, all the squeal?
I like the squeal.
Do you?
Yeah. Automatically makes you feel like a rock star.
I never took you for a squealer.
Well, I'm not a squealer, but you know what happens? You know what happens is if you get feedback, you're truly a rock star.
Yeah. You know, Skip, I can control you now. I can make you a squealer.
You can, yeah.
Why is he doing this to me?
You're getting that too, huh? See,
it's like a dog whistle. Like I'm freaking out.
I'm so deaf.
Bark.
I'm so deaf. I don't hear it. It just goes by. Yeah.
Skip does it just to feel alive. It's like cutting yourself, you know.
Yeah.
So those are nice. Those are some nice beginning selections from our Carlos Nakai. Do you know what CDs those came from, or what albums they would? I guess back then when he started, they were albums.
I think he does have some vinyl. Yeah, but
and vinyl.
Most of them are CDs now.
Yeah. So how far back did you go with those first ones?
At 87, 89. We're probably at the early 90s right now.
Mm-hmm. Well,
we're just going to go for it.
We are going for it. What else are we going for?
Well, App and Glow Sports Winter Film Series presents rock climber Lynn Hill on Thursday, March 12th, 7 p.m. at Squaw Valley's Olympic Village Lodge. Her show, Climbing Free, My Life in the Vertical World, is the final episode in the Winter Film Series. Proceeds benefit Tahoe Food Hub. appandglowsports.com.
Have you ever tried climbing vertically on anything?
Mm-hmm.
It's really, really hard. You have super strong fingers. It's really hard to climb vertically on anything without safety gear and stuff. It's just...
Yeah, I'm 6'1". I made it to about 9 feet.
Yeah, you can get up... Yeah, and that's it. You're
all the
you're
way
done.
to 9 feet.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, paintings by Miles Herman will be on display through March 29th at Pence Gallery. That's at 212 D Street in Davis. There will be a reception for the artist on Friday, March 13th, from 6 to 9 p.m. You can go to pencegallery.org. That's P-E-N-C-E gallery.org.
Like Hunter Pence. The giant.
Mm-hmm. So, on my computer, I think there was 24 hours and 47 minutes of our Carlos Nakai.
Yeah, you could play 24 hours of non-stop.
So I was thinking, just all Nakai, all day, coming at you.
That'd be okay. I think he'd like that.
Yeah, that'd be a little excessive.
Well, it's just...
I like excess.
All the...
oh, really?
Yeah.
All the people he collaborated with. It changes his sound so many ways. We heard, the National Choir singing with him and his flute. Some of the later years, we're going to get to, the Jewish stuff with the cello. With David
Udibar David, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And... there's some Hawaiian. There are going to be some Hawaiian stuff.
With Keola Beamer, specifically.
Some techno party jams.
Beamer's a nice guy. He's a really nice guy.
Well, he was born almost on my birthday. He was born on April the 16th, 1946. And he was in the military, I've read. And he also was, I guess, favoring brass instruments and was in an auto accident. And it affected his mouth, and someone handed him a flute and challenge him to master it. So we're listening to somebody that really went for it and mastered it.
He's considered the guy for native flute across the country right now. I mean, there's thousands of others, but he's
and our program's been on at least 15 years,
mm-hmm.
and he's been a mainstay. We've played his music consistently through. The other broadcasters on our station have played him also. So
yeah.
Quite a feature. Quite a feat.
When all else fails, just Nakai. That's what Skip taught me.
That's true.
Well, I don't know what to play. Play some Nakai. Done.
Gave away the secret now.
Yeah.
That's terrible. Just go to Carlos. He's the man.
Mm-hmm.
Gave away the secret.
Hey, my secret is just go to Stevie.
That's true.
So...
We're going to be getting Stevie on the phone here soon.
Oh.
I
am gently stalking him.
I see.
I don't want to scare him away because this isn't just about you.
I see.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
You have to be gentle with these things. No, he's in Costa Rica or some foreign something right now.
Costa Rica's America. with a Southern accent. That's all.
Okay. Well, he's somewhere, and I'm waiting for the studio, the new Studio A, to get set up. So whenever he needs to call, I'm ready to make an appointment and get him pre-recorded if necessary. I need to be ready for whatever he says and wants. Mm-hmm. Dad, do you have the goats and blankets together, please? The dowry is set.
All right. That's pretty good. The goats and the blankets, that's good.
You know, so like I just want to be ready.
You're ready. When he asks.
No, I'm going to start demanding, but I need to be ready for him to not say no. Oh, I can't. I can only do it at 2 a.m. on a Tuesday. Done.
He's got to come through Daddy first.
Fine.
He's going to have to deal with Big Daddy. That's all I can say. Big Daddy's going to have to say yes or no. If he's...
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, Big Daddy.
That's how he's going to talk during the interview.
I'm with the FBI.
The BIA.
Yeah, that's good.
The AIM.
Yeah. And
Big Indians Association.
All Stevie has to do at that point is talk to us about how we've had JT in here, and he'll go, oh, okay, well, they do know the FBI then. They do. They do. We better be careful. The FBI is listening every time we got John Trudell on here, so we got to be careful. Okay, Stevie, yes, the FBI is listening.
Well, good. Well, they're having some good music this morning, huh?
Let's do some more.
All right. Thanks for listening.
The cars, the trucks, the grandma with grandson, the large woman in red kissing a large man in red, the two lesbians eating cake, drinking coffee, the police officer strolling into the coffee haunt, and beyond, the pink and white blossoms of plum and the yellow eye of the starling. I'm monitoring the hanging flowers of an alder. Yes, early spring. Her flowers are the color of fall. She is bursting, subtly, like a happy introvert in the soft breeze, quietly releasing smoke signals from her branches, puffs of pollen. The magic dust of life falls upon the clean, shiny automobiles, the peace officer with his cup of coffee, the old man with a watch, sneakers, and a wide leather belt, the uniformed round woman in red wobbling to her fast food job, the young mother and her 2-year-old, the wrinkle-faced auburn bloodhound leashed to a woman with matching hair color. And here we are, able once again to drink from another spring. Oh.
Are you enjoying the music today?
I am. What albums have you been playing from?
I got a hodgepodge, literally start to finish.
They're listed here. There's a big list.
Well, there's the singing voice of R. Carlos Nakai. 50 albums, 4.3 million records sold.
Yeah, he did get a platinum.
2 gold records, Canyon Trilogy and Earth Spirit, and Canyon Trilogy went platinum.
Yeah.
We're going to be speaking with him in just a few minutes. But before we do, I'd like to thank our underwriters for the 10 o'clock hour, the Neurosurgery Center at Rideout, a trio of neurosurgeons who are experts in neurovascular surgery, epilepsy surgery, spinal surgery, management of chronic pain conditions, deep brain stimulation, and other neurosurgical specialties and subspecialties available at 24 hours, 7 days a week for both traumatic and medical neurosurgical emergencies. More online, rideoutneurosurgery.org.
And that's how you do that.
That's how we do that.
So. Again, it's a lot. It's a lot to think about. This is a career. Being a career musician is difficult. To write a song that people like is difficult. For people to continue to want to listen to you is difficult. So it's just kind of mind blowing that for the majority of my life, this guy's been able to do his thing and excel at it and make a living at it. So that's pretty cool. We can all be so fortunate.
Well, I've been hacking at professional music for over 50 years, and I'm here. I'm not on the road.
Yeah.
You know? Well, of course, being on the road isn't all that much fun either. You know, you get paid to ride the bus. You don't get paid to perform. So
yeah,
but
I'm
excited. Let's dial them up.
I work hard at not being good at anything, and I'm succeeding so far. So This is KVMR FM, Nevada City, KCPC, Camino Placerville. This is Dreamwalk. I am Michael Ben.
I'm Skip Allen Smith.
I am Mischief.
And we'll be back in just a moment. Thanks for listening. Hope.
Okay, let's hope we did this right.
Mr. Nakai, are you there?
Yes.
Oh, yay.
We did it right. Okay.
Halito Chimichukma, Hasasikari Nikiesko, and Yate. How's that?
Okay.
That's a lot on the plate. Good morning. I'm so glad you could join us. I didn't know who to get one of our three broadcasters to first start talking to, because I'm excited. And
well, we've been on the air for over 15 years now, and we have been playing your music for 15 years, and you're the go-to guy whenever we go, what are we going to do next? It's you. You're the guy. We go to you all the time. So we have over 50,000 listeners at any one time during the day listening, and they know who you are. So we just wanted to
But does he know who we are?
Oh, no.
Our Carlos Nakai. My name is Miss Jiff, and this is Dreamwalk, a Native American music and mayhem show.
It is mayhem. That's
With
true.
me is Skip Allen Smith and my father, Michael Ben. Nepotism is alive and well.
Okay.
So good morning. Welcome to the program.
so
Yes.
you were out in Flag today, or Scottsdale, or where are you?
No, I'm in Tucson.
Okay. Getting to watch some of that early season baseball stuff? Are you a baseball fan?
Oh, no, I'm waiting when we get through to watch the Wildcats beat up on California. Fingers crossed.
Oh, that's good.
So you had to open that subject, huh?
Now another 10,000 listeners just
I
tuned in.
know, I
They
feel
go,
like
"What?"
having technical difficulties all of a sudden.
Well, we're really glad that you're on, that you were able to speak with us this morning, and I just want to jump in and ask a few questions about. And when I listen to your music, I kind of go off in nature somewhere when I'm listening, and I'm wondering if you see images or you feel energy when you play something, or how do you kind of come to your music, your songs?
I don't know. I just let it flow. There's no real intention unless I'm contracted to provide some kind of music service for one event or another, then I have to put stuff down on paper.
Sure.
But the majority of what I work with is primarily, they say, improvisational, but it's at the moment through composition. And much of it, deals with either reflecting on the experiences of American Indians in their own homeland, or social situations that crop up every now and then within the society in general. I mean, right now, I'm putting my quartet back together because we're dealing with a situation of racism in the U.S., which everyone continues to cover up. So I think it's time to say something about that.
Oh, we couldn't agree more. This particular city, if you're not familiar with it, this particular city, Nevada City, is what we call ground zero for the gold rush. And the gold rush, of course, was responsible for for decimating basically 95% of all of the natives that were here in the beginning.
Right.
Oh, 98%. Okay, that's getting a number correction here. So there are a few of the inhabitants, or shall we say the descendants of those folks, but they're very few. And so that was one of the reasons why we started this program, is it's time to pay attention to things that went on for thousands of years before the rest of the people showed up. I think that's what you're dealing with also, is especially in light of the racism that we're talking about around the world.
Right. Well, that that kind of attitude, of course, affects everyone in this country. It doesn't deal with one particular segment of our cultural community here in the U.S., but it's also, I think there's a kind of, I would have to say, media massage or popular commercial massage that's going on to encourage younger natives to leave behind the history of our life experiences through, let's say, over the past 500 years or more. And that I'm continually harping on when I go to schools or public events here and there, because I hear a lot of younger natives saying, I'm a this or I'm that, and I say, oh, tell me whom you are then. What do you mean? I just told you I'm a warrior for my culture. I said, no, that's the wrong answer. Tell me whom you are.
Yeah.
And so I think that's a priority right now, because the more we begin not to understand how we got into this situation that we're in today and how our ancestors have struggled greatly to make us possible today, we seem to be all throwing it away for popular culture, you know.
That's an interesting point. We see the same thing here. I mean, we see it, and it's not just native kids. I mean, we see it with kids everywhere, but for sure, it seems to be more prevalent because I think the general feel is they have nothing to look forward to. They have nowhere to go. There's nothing out there for them. Is that something you're finding normal? Let's say on the res or anywhere else?
Well, anywhere else. I just had an email from someone who says they're Irish. So I need to write back to them and say, tell me whom you are.
Yeah.
I would like to play American Indian music, and I was just wondering if it was apropos or confronted with the different cultural music that I would like to work with. You know, even the, as I call them, Native Americans are the ones who invented this country, are forgetting how they came to be here. So there's this whole political and social strife that occurs and continues to occur when they formulated this experiment called the United States of America. Right. And there still is no emphasis on learning how you came to be an American. I mean, no one's here because they wanted to be. And understanding that will give us the understanding that, again, this is a country of innovators, and if there's nothing there, then find something to invent and make our place fun to be in.
Oh, nice. I like that. So I look, all of your, how many albums have you done? Over 20?
50?
Over 50? Excuse me.
We're wrong. Where are we?
And you've what musicians have inspired you to produce these wonderful compilations and songs that you've done?
Yeah. Well, you know, I grew up wanting to be in symphony orchestras as a brass musician, but that never happened because of an accident in the military. And then I got home and found the native flute. But before that time, it was mainly, I think, what everyone goes through in this country is hearing the great masters, as they call them. The first, I call them rock and roll composers who took all these folk instruments, put them together, and created symphony orchestras to make the music louder with the equipment that they had, and to get it out of the churches and castles so normal people could hear the music. And now we revere them as sacred, but in actuality, they were the first ones to rock the boat.
I like that, yeah.
You know, and then, of course, when I got more involved with the native flute and found that most people knew nothing about it. I mean, you know, I interviewed elders, I interviewed young people at powwows and other social events here and there in the Southwest and on the East Coast. They said, I don't know, my grandfather had one. I don't know. You know, so I have been delving into that and found that it works just like any other flute instrument in the world, but it also has a unique quality based on how it's made, and thought, I need to do more with this to get it out into the world so more people can hear it. And I was actually hoping people would relate to it and say, I want to play my own cultural music with this instrument. But instead it's, I really want to honor the American Indians by playing some sacred chants and songs. Now, find your own culture, your music, not mine.
Amen.
I've been doing this program for it's almost 16 years now, and I'm the token, shall we say, white guy who started this program because I was.
Wait.
Yeah, wait. Go ahead.
You really are?
I really am. Yeah.
Very, very.
I've seen a person before in my life. I would love to see one.
Oh, I know. Well, and that's one of the things that I have said on the air many, many times when I started this program. I run into so many people, especially in this neighborhood, which is a pretty hip neighborhood, and it's shall we say, an awful lot of broad thinkers here. I mean, the general people around here think quite differently than, shall we say, other metropolitan areas or whatever. But I run into fellow, shall I say, white guys who go, "Oh yeah," and you know the joke, "Yeah, my great grandmother was a Cherokee or whatever." Great grandmother. Yeah, we hate that joke. I mean, that's. It's just, it ticks me off.
Well, there's also the native side. Yeah, and we have an anthropologist in our family.
Oh, yes, of course. Yeah, I know. You hate them equally as much.
Yeah, but, that let's say that social division, there are black people and white people. And then there are people of color. So I guess the rainbow is in the middle somewhere, but on the extreme ends, I've never seen a black person, and I've never, ever seen a white person. I've seen a lot of pink people on the beaches in California and Hawaii, and I go, wait a minute, this keeps us apart.
Yeah.
Because, it also carries with it a kind of social message and a political message, and I go, no, in most of my lectures, I go, we're all the colors of the rainbow, but I like to equate it to coffee. Let's say we have the dark Brazilian stuff, and that's dark brown. It's not really black coffee. It's dark brown. And then you add a little milk here and there, and you end up with a latte, and then you add more milk, and you add more milk, and it turns this light brown pink color. I said, so that's what we are. We're just a variety of coffee with certain elements added, and and then the lack of melanin doesn't qualify anything. It's just that don't stay out in the sun too long. You're going to get burned.
Yeah. Well, and along with that joke is what I started with is so many of the shall we say wannabes, yeah. I've come back and said, well, wait a second. Most of the natives I know don't even want to be native. Why the hell do you want to be a native? You're a white guy, and you want to be a native. I don't get it. Most of the natives we know don't even want to be native.
Enjoy the privilege.
What are
you
talking about? Yeah.
Well, the problem is they want the feathers and beads because it qualifies somebody for something or other, And then they want something called a Lakota sweat lodge.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's the next one.
And I said, I wear a few feathers and beads once in a while because some places I go to, they want that romantic perspective.
Yeah.
But I say, I live in the 21st century, so I should actually wear a tuxedo or sports coat with tie. No. We want the real Indian look.
Yeah. You need the bolo?
Here we go. Yeah.
The bolo
I better
tie?
dig out my turban.
Oh, okay. And do you have it? Wait, is the bolo out of turquoise? Hold on.
Yeah. No, I don't wear bolos.
Okay.
I used to, but,
Turquoise and silver, I can see it coming now. Listen, I have to break this up in something completely different. I ask this of everyone who we've ever interviewed. I asked this of Joan Baez years ago. I asked Buffy St. Marie, what do you do when you're not being famous?
I'm trying to be famous.
Oh, I know. You're spending your whole life trying to be famous. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Then I go to the local restaurants and say, let me see your dessert menu. Okay, I'll take the bread pudding.
Right.
Because I know George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Benjamin Franklin, they all ate bread pudding and they became famous. So I want to be famous, so bring me the bread pudding, please.
It's perfect. What a perfect answer. Especially for a guy who sold 1 million records. You're still not famous? What? Do you find that frustrating?
No.
Okay.
No, because I'm having a good time doing this,
Yes. Yeah.
And whatever comes of it, hey, well, at least I've done this in my life, That's all that's important.
I think it's really interesting that you made the transition after the injury, that you made the transition from a brass instrument, which, of course, takes an incredible amount of lip control, shall we say, or lip muscleage. Lippage. And then
Buccinator.
and then you've gone to the cedar flute. Now, that brings up another question. Are all of the flutes cedar?
No.
Okay.
Even in the old days, if you go to collections in Germany or Austria or in England, they're made out of shotgun barrels,
sure,
furniture legs, wagon wheel spokes, anything they could find in the old days. And they would take it down to a trading post and have either holes drilled or have the wood cut in half so they could make the inside component.
Oh, sure, channel it out, yes.
Yeah.
Do you...
And the ones I work with are a variety of woods that the two flute makers I work with say, try this one. I think it really sounds good. I say, yeah, it does. Okay, I'll take it.
Do you have a favorite, or are you inspired in different ways by different flutes and their unique sounds?
Well, yeah, when I do concerts, if I'm doing a solo event, then I'll start probably with the more traditional sounding ones, which are in the key of E and B flat, but they work in minor, either minor melodic areas or in modes.
Oh, sure.
So
okay.
I'll start with those and then move to the modern ones, which are the low-tuned ones or somewhere in between, and just show people the diversity of sound that is being produced now.
That's
so
great.
you have favorite flute makers for you, but do you have another 500 people coming up to you wherever you are and say, I made this flute, I'd really like to give it to you?
Mm-hmm.
That
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
and what is the end result? You get 90% of them are no good, or what's the end result of those gifts?
I can't really do that. That's like saying I'm the expert on all this stuff, and
sure.
And I want to put you down now, saying this is a piece of crap.
I know. Yeah, you work so hard on it, but it's junk.
Yeah. They work so hard to craft, a musical instrument, and all the time they put into it is really valuable. So
sure.
I take it and I listen and I go, yeah, this will work.
We say thank you.
Yeah, thanks very much. And I have a large collection of flute gifts that, were given at various points in time, and some are really, really good, and some, but they're good for wall hangings too. So,
yes.
This is. I'm just kind of getting the picture here that you've been doing this for a long time. I think I heard you in Marin County at a Satsang 1995, something like that. I could just swear that was you. Stood up, played the flute, sat back down. I might be wrong. But I'm getting the picture here that you're not just a musician anymore. You're an elder. You've kind of passed into this, what we call the elder range or whatever. And I know that I'm hearing now that you're
I hear 'em laughing.
Not just your music. You're bringing people together with your music, but it's also your words.
A purpose.
Yes.
Well, there's
like
that.
So, go ahead.
Because when I was growing up and listening to my elders, both as Utes and Zunis and the Southern Athabascans, or what they call Navajos and Apaches, they always said, make sure you find something to do that will help other people get ahead. So that philosophy of becoming of service to others has always been in my mind.
Can you expand on that a little bit?
What do you do? How do you spend your time? You said something about doing lectures. Is those in school,
I talk
college?
a lot about, let's say what's going on right now in this country is this huge thing of male dominance. So I have to talk a whole lot about indigenous tribes all over the planet they're all matrilineal.
Right.
I haven't found one where there are men who lead a community. But of late, in the past 600 or 700 years, when organized religion came around, then they built a philosophy where men are dominant. So their spiritual beings are all males and this and that, and the women, because they want to move away from the matrilineal perspective, are now all subjugated to the male dominant.
It's all misogyny, though. It's from fear. Men are afraid of women and our power. In this studio, it's matriarchal. These guys walk in and they don't have a chance.
Oh yeah, we're done. Oh yeah, we let the young one take over. She's a powerful woman, and her daddy and I, we just stand back.
Well, that's the safest thing to do.
Yes, it is.
Even when you go to a powwow, you see all these guys strutting around with all their feathers and beads, and then as soon as their wife says something to them, or a group of young ladies are saying something and giggling behind their fans, these huge guys that are just strutting around all of a sudden look deflated.
That's why we giggle in ear range. Do you know anything?
Yeah.
If we can't break you down a little bit, we don't want you.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
So, but, even in some of the Polynesian communities that I go to, when the woman is pregnant, the man takes care of her. When she has the children, he takes the child and raises it and does all the cooking, housework, and all of that. And some families still do that in Hawaii. And there is no male dominance, except, did you just push my child down? Well, I'm going to push you down, too. But other than that, there is no, like political and social prowess that goes with the little thing sticking out between your legs,
Sure.
Well, we need both forces. There has to be a balance of the amazing male energy and the strength and endurance and all the amazing man things. And it has to counteract and balance and, bring it to that feminine side. Because I know I need to be checked every once in a while, but maybe that's just me.
Well,
you're still young. As a musician and having studied in ed psych, and all of that to teach people, I also realize that being a musician or being an artist of any kind, actually, if you're a man, that you're actually doing a feminine expression and you're putting yourself back into balance. And I go, oh, okay. So I have to always remind myself or have my wife remind me that you're out of balance.
You're out of balance,
bro. Weird going on, and I go, uh-oh.
And I think that's what I get from your music more than anything. It's sort of like, I'm just imagining you go in the studio and you might get a massage or you might eat some calm food, but your energy seems to be really grounded and calm, and it kind of comes out of what you play. Is that something you just kind of walk around with some incredible self-presence or knowledge and pick up the flute and go at it? Or
I hear them laughing.
You get lucky and you just find the right place with the musicians, the right flow, and you're accustomed to doing that now. How do you do that?
Well, a lot
What's
of
your secret?
Is by self-discovery. In other words, I don't know everything, so I have to go around and listen to everyone. If I were heading downtown in Tucson today, I would, just be on the street and listen to what people are doing, and be aware of what young people are doing, too, because they're also on this, journey of discovery.
Yeah.
And so there's that, but even with myself, I have to do a lot of thought, let's say. I tried meditating, I tried this, I tried that. My wife tried to drag me into yoga. But
my wife tried that too,
right away after that, So it's like, that doesn't work. I think it's just being aware of where you are from one moment to the next, and don't step on anybody's toes too hard.
I can relate to that. I've been here comes the joke. I've been a professional drummer for over 55 years. I've been getting paid to play drums, a kit set of drums, for over 55 years, and yet there's those times when you're on stage or the audience gives you the energy or something. There's a little juju thing going on there, and all of a sudden the band just explodes, and it becomes the performance of the night. Have you had those kinds of things also with a feedback or a feel from the audience of what you've been doing?
Oh, yeah.
Isn't that the
it happens
best?
Occasionally, but I let it happen on its own. But, I got my quartet back together, and one of the things is tell me who you are. This, that, I'm a synthesis, and I'm a keyboard player, I play saxophone, I play that. No. Tell me what's your family all about? Who are you?
Yeah.
That's what
you do. Yeah, so I get it.
Where you're coming from when you play this music. And, we all operate together in that way, and then it's sort of like it's a unified cultural expression at that point, that we come from all these different cultural heritages, but we're Americans now, and this is our music. And it comes out differently, and I really enjoy that part because I can see in all the other people in the group that now we're on one line, and we're doing this thing, and we're going to move our audience.
Right as you started talking, and I was thinking, we need to talk more about the quartet, you spontaneously mentioned the quartet, and in this random Nakai music selection I did yesterday, the quartet started playing. Okay.
How do you do that?
There's bigger things at play here.
Bigger energy coming on now. Yeah, that's right.
I just got the goosebumps. So yes, tell us more about the quartet. What are you guys planning to do? Are you recording now? What's going on there?
And before you answer that, one last thing is: Will Klipman your only go-to guy, or is there a possibility you could hire me? I'm just.
I'll hire anybody who has their dream in mind.
Okay.
Will's always there because he just hangs in there with me.
Yeah.
And he works a variety of different world percussion, and so I kind of enjoy that. But I've always insisted that he go back to his Sami heritage. Find that sound too, which he's done, and now we're waiting to go to Iceland and Norway and sit with the Sami, and eat some barbecued reindeer and stuff,
Now we're talking.
And then when somebody says, "Who are you?" you can say, "I'm full."
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the Hawaiians go, you eat until you get tired.
Yeah, that's good. I'm a
little tired. I need to go to bed now.
That was something that I was going to ask you in relation to that, specifically Keola Beamer and any of the other Native Hawaiians. There are things going on in Native Hawaiian music that have been and are so deeply linked to what you're doing here on the mainland. And yet there's thousands of miles of space between you. Have you found that to be an interesting combination? Have you found that to be... well, let me rephrase. How have you found that to be? So's that.
Yeah, the mainland.
The mainland, yeah.
Oh, on the Big Island, yeah. When I go back to either Kailua Kona or Hilo, after I've done performances with Keola and other Hawaiians, they're actually... let's say, prose form in the lyrics about their history of struggle from way back, or their stories in double entendres of what we call snagging in the native culture.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so you have a lot of snagging songs, but you have to listen carefully because the Hawaiian language is rife, or all Polynesian language is rife with that. We're singing about the rainfall and we're singing about the beautiful flowers, and you go, "Oh, bee, get off of it. I know what you're really saying there." And even natives do that. You'll hear songs at powwows, and everyone's just dancing away, then some stop for a while and they go,
"Did he just say that?"
That drum group is crazy.
Right.
It's a prequel to the 49.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, the renditions of history are always important, and I'll hear that even in the quartet when suddenly someone will launch into something that's so native-oriented, either about their culture or about something else, or their life experience of being a jazz musician, and I'll go, "Okay, now we're there. Let's go with it."
I so
Why
get
fight
that.
the flow?
Yeah, I get that.
Don't fight it, baby.
So, to get back to your quartet, you've been all over the world. Race is still an issue? You've seen it all over the world, or is it just something that's indigenous to this country, the race issues that are in the media a lot still?
No, they're everywhere because, with colonization that was done by all these world powers, there are aspects of just social and political racism that happen everywhere in the world. And unfortunately, American Indians seem to be suffering the most of it, there's this thing that happened in the Middle East, in Missouri, and there's this huge uproar, but just go over to the res over in Arkansas or Oklahoma and see what's happening there.
Yeah, it's being ignored by the news. That's one of the things that we have been continually bringing up around here is that the native culture or the native people in this country are the poorest, the most underrepresented, and the most downtrodden of all of the races in this country. And nobody even knows about it.
Can I say something vulnerable?
Even violence, too. I'm finding all over the internet that we have a higher incidences of violence from police. So, it's all over the place.
As what are we, seventh generation? What am I, seventh generation?
You're officially seventh generation.
I feel two things when I'm out and about. One, here's this, it's a native, so I'm supposed to play into some romantic hoo-ha. Or I feel like an old story that people are tired of hearing. Yeah, we screwed you over and you're still complaining about it. So it's very hard for me to express myself and be who I am because I'm supposed to feed into one of these two roles. And I don't want to say I give up, but it is kind of discouraging in a lot of aspects to call attention to myself or to ask myself, who am I? Because I still feel like nobody really wants to see me for who I am because I'm supposed to play pretend Indian or I'm an old sock.
And he gets that, yeah.
But they are Irish. They are, and you go, you are? Well, tell me, what's your family all about? And they say, well, we don't know anything because, we were sent here way back when, and my family never told me anything. They don't tell you. You're supposed to ask. And the thing about indigenous people is that, they're tired of hearing the same old line because many natives are falling back on that because it's easy, but they don't look at what we're doing today, and we're working at change, and we're working at bringing ourselves into the future, but they say usually, good, here's a native who's forgetting all of that cultural history and is joining us. Not really.
Yeah.
Not really. We're showing you that we're capable of doing what you're doing too, but we have to look out for our mothers and daughters. That's our first priority all the time. Oh, God. You still worry about that old cultural shit?
Yeah.
Not old cultural shit. It's a responsibility,
Yes. Well, we are listening to R. Carlos Nakai.
Rant Brave.
Good. Yes. No, we like that. No, that's one of the things that I made very, very aware. I made everyone aware of when we first started this program is that this particular program here is the spot where all natives can come in here and yell and rant or rave or tell everybody what ticks them off or what makes them happy. It doesn't matter. Is
that what the R stands for? Rant?
Rant.
Rant Carlos Nakai.
Rant Carlos. I think it's great. You want to use that? You can use that.
Yeah, do you have soapbox? Jump on it. Go. Hey, if it's not you complaining or ranting, it's going to be me.
Yeah, there you go. Well, we'll build you a box if you want one. Yeah.
Out of gifted flutes.
Well, my soapbox is natives not willing to move forward. Mm-hmm. It's time for us to get off the reservations. We've been on them for at least 300 years when the reservation period was started. and we're not doing anything for ourselves. There are many opportunities available, and those natives like me and others who've gone away to universities, gotten degrees of various kinds that either deal with social services or professional work, you come back to the res and they put you down immediately, saying you just learned how to be like a white guy, and you go, there are no white people out there.
Yeah, totally.
You know what we mean. I said, no, I don't understand, but I have skills now that can help us get ahead. Well, what it turns out to be is when you come back as a trained professional, you may upset the apple cart. And they all have their hand in that little feed bag, you know, waiting for something to come out of it, and we don't have to give anything back. And it's like, how can you do that? First, you stress this understanding of being one with nature and being one with the environment and having this perspective that's different from others. But at the same time, you use people to get what you want without having to return anything.
Pay it forward.
And being in a sharing mode, which you talk about all the time. When the white man destroyed my culture, and I go, you know, people from other cultures never destroyed who I am. I said, I still pray in the morning. I still know the responsibilities as a male person in a matrilineal community. I understand how much hard work it takes to survive from one day to the next. I've been down on the ground and experienced all the things that natives who think they're homeless or have lost, you know, perspective of being in the world. I said, I've been there. But look what I've done. I realize that I have to do this on my own, and I'm not dependent. And so, you know, that's the thing that irks me the most is that, you know, how come you're doing that? You're acting just like those outside people. You should just sit back and they'll give you stuff. And I go, I can't do that.
Oh, my.
That's cheating. That's cheating. Oh, you just think like them. Oh, you're just that. And I said, no, you know, I go to sacred places where, like over in Colorado at Sand Creek, Black Kettle was flying an American flag, and he put it on all the teepees and said, this will keep us safe. Well, this Mormon guy came with his group out of Denver, and they wiped all those Cheyennes out. And there were some Lakotas with them and, you know, Arapahoes, and they killed them all. So that anger was still there, you know.
Yeah.
And the Cheyennes didn't do anything to anybody. And then I go to Canyon de Chelly on the Navajo reservation, and I look in the Canyon del Muerto, and I'll even ask young Navajos there, what happened here? Oh, we used to grow peaches there. Oh, yeah, we herded sheep down there. My grandmother still lives there. I said, no, what really happened here? I said, back in 1864, the Army came and killed 1,500 Navajo, men, women, and children down in that canyon. Oh, you know, it's like, don't you know history? I mean, you have to do something. Get out in the world, show them that you're still here. We're poor. I mean, I've heard it all. And Vine Deloria and Bob Thomas and, you know, other instructors at the U of A have always told me, you know, you're facing a brick wall. And they're not going to let you change that brick wall or knock it down because they know that they've got this thing going and it works for them. And, you know,
so
just like, oh, my. Anyway, that's my rant.
If we had another hour, we'd let you go another hour, but we only have 20 minutes, so it's all yours. Go ahead, Michael Ben.
So that brings up the subject for me is like we're talking now about assimilation. That's what I see. I know that education's very important for a Native person. I'm educated, but there's this other piece of it that I didn't get because Mom went to boarding school, and I've been working on recovering that, and that is ceremony. And it sounds like you've got some pretty good upbringing when you were young. And how important is that is ceremony to you, and how do you think that's a part of us all moving forward as well?
Yes, very much so. All we're doing now in many of the tribes is we're doing ceremonies from the old culture, let's say before 1850. But once in a while, and usually this is only either with the gourd dance groups or some powwow song honoring a veteran, then you'll hear a song or you'll watch a dance of somebody who was killed in action in the military. And I say, well, where are the new ceremonies that deal with us moving into the 20th and 21st century? Where are the medicine songs that will help us understand how the world turned upside down on us, and now we're living in this other perspective, and we need to bring ourselves into that mode of survival now? Where are those songs? Oh, the white man took that all away from us. I said, no, they didn't. I said, when I'm dancing a veteran song for somebody from Vietnam, I said, I really think about all my friends who were taken away during that conflict. When I hear the song for the Iraqi and Iranian and you know, and the other North African conflicts, and they have these songs, I think very carefully about nephews and nieces who went there, and some never came back. I said, but the major ceremonies of our history, which is what they are, they're not there. So we're always looking back rather than saying, this happened last week, and now we have to look forward. We have to look to the future.
So
when I talk to natives, even medicine men, about that, they go, you don't want to know that stuff because it's all negative. I said, well, what about in the old days? It was very negative. We were living on the ground like animals, you know. We're finding what we could to eat with. I said, it wasn't a nice thing because I've lived in teepees, and there's no hot and cold running water and no toilet and no toilet paper and no stove. And you do what you can, usually at your wit's end, to try to make something good of it. And I said, that was hard, but it's still hard today, and we need to know those songs now. And that's what the young people are missing. That's why they're so-called abandoning or assimilating into the greater commercial culture, because we're not doing the new songs yet.
Well, I'm getting
speechless.
I'm getting pictures here. The last, I guess, 15 years ago, I've worked closely with the local tribe, and we have built hubos. We built cedar bark houses that are pit houses. They're in the ground actually, and they're good year round. And the intention there was, by widening the door, is we could get people to come in, elders to come in, and get a feel of the old times and the old days, and kind of like help bring the culture back, whatever that is, the good pieces of it. And I guess what I'm saying is I guess, are you saying our intention is real important? And if so, how do we get that piece, that old piece? Is it even possible at all?
Oh, yeah. You sit down with people from, let's say, the generations after, let's say when the reservation period ended in 1935, and they talk about having to move to cities and other urban metropolitan areas to get work, how the education process changed a lot of us. I mean, I have two uncles who became chief justices of the tribal courts, but when they were going to a mission boarding school, their hair was cut off.
Yeah.
And when they spoke their own language, they were hung up on flagpoles to teach others, don't speak your language. But they were, in fact, one uncle named Arthur Hubbard, he spoke an old formal kind of Navajo, Athabascan Navajo from Alaska, that no Navajo knows today. You know, I mean, and they went through that hardship, and that hardship needs to be remembered, that look at what your grandfathers and grandmothers did in their time to make you possible today.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
so we owe a huge debt to our ancestors of late, because they struggled really hard to make sure their children would have their grandchildren who would be in the world now. And look what we're doing. We're squandering it. You know, we join gangs and we use drugs and we don't.
What are you talking about, we?
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing, but I totally get it. Yeah, the gangs and go ahead and continue with that. Yeah.
You know, and we're squandering this new responsibility now. Continue what we've always been, because the world needs those prayers.
But you said responsibility. That is a hard thing that humans don't seem to like to take. And, you know, I am admired by, you know, even after injury, you had this drive to play music, to play flute. There's a drive. There is for a bigger purpose. And people are afraid to tap into that because it does kind of throw you into the wind in a way. But you have to know that God, that spirit, that somebody has you. And we can push through this, and we can become. And my dad was a 13th Choctaw to go to college. I know that number because I looked it up. So, you know, there's got to be pride in what we're able to accomplish, as well as preserve and honor. But it's a responsibility, and that's uncomfortable. Once you start saying responsibility, I think people shut down. Yeah.
Well, actually, I don't like the word pride because that's ego-based.
Yeah.
But I do like I do. When I teach, I use my 3 R's. And the first one is personal responsibility. In other words, you go home and you ask your people whom you are, and you get the history of your family, because no one carries a tribal history, but we all carry family histories. And it all fits together into a tribal song at one time or another. And then out of that, you gain another sensibility, which is called self-reliance. Then you know what your people and your ancestors have been doing since the beginning of time. So it's like people who say in the modern world, you know, I've always wanted to be a doctor. And I realized when I looked at my grandfather, when they came from Germany, he was a physician. And he was studying to become a surgeon, but surgery just started. And when they were forced to come to America, he left all that behind and he became a farmer. And you go, well, you're going to fulfill the dream of that ancestor by becoming the physician he always wanted to be, you know. And then out of that is the last thing that no one in the world can give you. And with those two operating, personal responsibility and self-reliance, you gain a sense of self-respect.
Oh.
And no one can give that to anybody. I respect you. And you go, oh, yeah, you do? Why? You don't know who I am. Yeah, but I respect what you're doing. I said, no, you can't do that. You've got to respect yourself. Don't respect me and make me your, you know, your, what do they call it? Your anyway, the
excuse.
Your who represents you in a certain way. No. And I think that's what needs to happen here is everyone who came to this country needs to understand how they came from their homelands to America, as they called it later, and what we owe our ancestors and what we are. And I really do this all the time because the next thing is when we begin to realize how we are a multicultural society, then we will go to the Congress and get rid of St. Patrick's Day and get rid of Columbus Day, and we will have 52 weeks of cultural awareness. So everyone in the U.S. will have a closet dedicated to this is my culture, next week this will be my culture, oh, and then next month this is my culture. So you'll have an outfit of all your cultural heritages in there, and everyone will express that for 52 weeks out of the year instead of 2 days, you know, in the spring and in the fall.
And America will be the mosaic, in theory it is.
Yeah, we are, but nobody believes that, you know.
Well, you know, one of the things that I have mentioned this on the program before, and it is in relation to your respect and your self-reliance, part of your 3 R's. One of the things that we have in this country is we have an entire industry of attorneys and psychiatrists and psychologists who make up excuses for us to not be responsible.
Right. Yeah. Well, and look at religion.
Yeah, same thing.
What? You're not. You can't be. You never will be. So just give up on that. Become one of us and be a follower. And you go, no, I can't do that.
Yeah.
I'm the center of all existence. I was taught this by people in Montana, to stand in the middle of this circle of rocks and say, I am God itself. And so is everything else that surrounds me.
And as an engineer myself, and having worked at wild places like Stanford Linear Accelerator, where they actually look for the God particle, they've already found it. We are God. Every single thing is God. The rock is God. We are God. Every single thing is God because it is all alive. And we know that now studying quantum physics. We know everything is alive. That's why the natives always had it right.
That's what the vision on my vision quest was. The entire universe spiraled down and hit me in the belly. There's no separation or difference between myself and creation and existence.
Right.
All right.
Well, you know, I'd always wondered about it because when I was trained by the Jesuits, they always said, do you believe or do you know?
Oh, yeah.
The question we always got in their catechism class was, do you know God? Do you know God exists? Have you seen this God? And, and everyone's sitting there going, well, it's written down here in this book. No. Have you actually experienced this yourself? And it's like, and how
maybe.
can you say you believe this stuff?
Yeah.
How can you really say it? And I used to reflect on that, and I would travel around, and then one day this friend of mine who's a Lakota dreamer showed me that little wheel, and he says, this represents all existence. And he said, it's a sacred wheel, but it's actually a ball. Mm. And I began to take it apart, and like other engineers and chemists, oh, my God, this is a symbol for oxygen.
Oh, yeah.
And this is a symbol for how everything recombines and on a carbon-based planet. Oh, my God, I'm everything.
Yes.
So the periodic table of the elements, for me, represents understanding of God.
Yeah. Wow. I wish we had another whole hour. Can we call you back sometime?
That's what I was thinking.
This is so fascinating.
Or if I'm in Nevada City or Las Vegas or Reno, then I'll have to pop on over and we'll do it.
I would like that. I want to personally invite you to come to the Yuba River. A lot of us feel that the Yuba River is sick, and I would like just to have you come, and I'm sure I share the sentiment the same. Come and play by our sick river. It's been ruined by water diversion.
Gold
mining.
Have
salmon gone. Mining has wreaked havoc on it, and it's just a big pile of rubble. And a lot of us are doing ceremony to try to bring this wonderful river back into health.
Okay.
So
for being
we'd like
sick,
to have you here.
it looks beautiful.
It looks pretty.
And also,
but it's sick.
We
Full of
have
mercury.
Indigenous Peoples Day that happens over Columbus weekend.
Yeah, Columbus's mistake.
That has been going on for so long. So, Father, what's up with that?
We'd like to have you come there, too.
Yeah. And
so you got a lot of invites waiting here in Sacramento,
yes. Nevada City,
Nevada City, California.
We're waiting
County.
for you.
Well, thank you so much for spending this hour with us. We can't express
thrilled.
our gratitude enough.
We are thrilled that you took the time to talk to us, and we can't wait to talk to you again. We have 1,000 more questions. And
Michael Ben's making you a flute right now.
Yeah. Actually, I got goosebumps in anticipation from it.
I got goosebumps. Yeah. We've been waiting to talk to you for 15 years, and all of us are sitting here. We got goosebumps all over. Oh my God, we're talking to RC. Yeah,
So do you go by RC? What do people call you?
Yeah.
Okay.
RC's cool.
Okay, got it.
Okay. Okay.
Well, thank you.
See, this was one of my dreams early on was I need to get together people in a room and we discuss the situation we're in and we find a solution.
Okay, well, then I had the idea.
We have a room.
We have a room, and we have contacts to Joan Baez. We have contacts to Buffy St. Marie. We have contacts to John Trudell. What if we get all those guys together with you, and we figure out how to fix the world problem right there?
Right.
So, is that good?
Yeah.
It sounds good.
Work. And some elders and ancient people from here and there. You know, and we say, okay, let's talk about life and culture.
Yeah, we get Fred Coyote down here.
I'm there.
We get it. Okay.
Well, thank you for coming. For the listeners, we've been speaking with R. Carlos Nakai. He is a producer or player or maker of 50 albums, 4.3 million records, 2 gold records, Canyon Trilogy and Earth Spirit, and we were just thrilled to have him. Thank you for being with us today.
We can't thank you enough. Yeah, man.
Well, and thanks very much for the opportunity, and I hope everyone will become in a good space.
Oh.
Amen.
Thank you. Bye-bye for now. We can't wait to talk to you again. Bye-bye. Thanks. Wow.
I feel bad because it's like you just got to hang up on him. Okay, so we got a minute and a half.
Okay.
Break the business down.
And a 1 and a 2. Everyone is invited to share his or her time and talents.
Give a presentation. That's my favorite bit.
And we'd like to thank Sweetland Garden Supply in downtown North San Juan, offering bare root trees, including Felix Gillette, local veggie starts, ornamental trees, soils, dry fertilizers, greenhouses, seeds, starting supplies, and more. Big O Tires, with independently owned tire and automotive stores throughout Northern California and Northern Nevada, providing brake service, alignment, suspension repair, oil changes, scheduled vehicle maintenance. Locations are online at bigotires.com. And we'd like to thank Afternoon Deli, using natural, organic, local products when possible to make all their sauces, dressings for their made-to-order sandwiches, salads, burgers, open Tuesday through Friday, 11:30 to 4:30, and Saturday, 11 to 3:30, off McKnight Way in Grass Valley, left of Kmart, online, afternoondeli.com.
Bevan Larry Skinner and Jack Laird will give a presentation on the Bourne Mansion, an almost 120-year-old mansion in the Pacific Heights of San Francisco, on Thursday, March 19th, 7 to 8 p.m. at the Madeline Healing Library in San Francisco, NevadaCountyHistory.org.
And I'm not hurrying for nobody. Everyone is invited to share his or her time and talents with Nevada County nonprofits, public agencies, and schools. Currently, RSVP is looking for volunteers to tutor English, to become a board member for a nonprofit, to provide office support, and develop a website. Note that there is a training class on March 14th for those interested in teaching English. Visit volunteernevadacounty.org and wish Mischief a happy birthday tomorrow.
Oh, you guys are sweet.
Happy birthday tomorrow.
Now, we gotta go.
Well, I left my broke down pickup down to Brookbed, and I'm calling reservation about tonight. Well, I live my life from day to day, yeah, hand to mouth, the only way when payday comes is powwow 49. Well, I fixed my truck this week and time for rolling, and I work all week and get my sleep tonight. But when Friday comes, I go my way, cause I don't know no other way. When payday comes, it's Highway 49. Yeah, make my reservations for the road now, cause every weekend holds a powwow summertime. Gonna hit that celebration with a vengeance when I roll down Powwow Highway 49. Gonna roll down Powwow Highway 49.